So, this is going to be the video where you guys find out whether or not I buy 681. So I just wanted to go ahead and preface this video by saying I did have a plan to do this a little differently. I wasn't going to go into like the whole history and stuff behind the bus and myself and really kind of why it's special to me, but all that stuff I've already got filmed. I'll probably just do it in a separate video because I know you guys want to know what's really going on with 681. So with that being said, at least the first clip, I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to use, what I'm not going to use yet, but for this video, but the pre-sale inspection that I did back in February, it's June now. The bus sold in March, so I've taken a long time to do this, but I'll get into that later. It was filmed with me trying to do that whole history video, so that I might say some stuff that might be a little bit confusing, referencing stuff that I've said in those other video clips or something like that. So just keep that in mind. I kind of can't go back and do that now. You'll see why later. Just kind of how things are going and how things played out. It's a little different, but yeah. So to start that off, 681, I'll go ahead and go over it briefly a little bit. 681 was retired in June of 2018, so about 3 years ago from the filming of this video. It sat in the back of the lot for close to 3 years until about March of 2021, and yeah, so the sale was postponed mainly due to COVID, and you know, there's other stuff that we need to get done in the transportation department, but that allowed me time to get my CDL, that allowed me time to start working for the district and kind of getting a feel for how things are going. You know, I could kind of just go to the bus whenever I wanted to. That was pretty neat, but it kind of worked out in the end for me with it sitting for so long, so I don't really care. But yeah, so we'll get on to those video clips and enjoy the video. Well, it's finally time to get some updates on this one's current condition. Of course, as you can see, here it is. Good old 681. I've been keeping this one kind of quiet lately because, well, ever since it was retired, because I didn't really want competition to, or I didn't want to invite competition to bid on this bus, because not everybody is considerate of other people's goals in life, which this is one of them, which, as you can see, it's been sitting for quite a while, since about May of 2018, or maybe early June. Well, it would have been early June, because last time I saw it in service was May 29th. So earlier in the video I talked about where it sat before, which this right here is where it sat before, besides 683 here and 672, and now they just moved it right here. I don't know why they moved it here, but it kind of works better for my picture taking stuff, although it would have been nice if they didn't put 706 right there. There was another 3800 sitting over there, either 675 or 680. So I don't know which one it was. The other one's still down there. I forget which one was sitting there, but it's up front now. They have some buses listed on the auction site. 667, 668, 669, which is right there. 672, which is right here. 675 and 680. I got confirmation that 681 will be put up within about a week or so, maybe a week and a half. So it's getting real close for the time to buy this thing, or not buy it, whatever God wants for me to have. Hopefully I get it, but if not, it's not going to be the end of the world, although it'll be very disappointing for me. Let's see. I wanted to go around the outside of this thing first. There's a lot of ice everywhere, like all that, especially on the pavement. It's pretty much ice. But go ahead and take a look here at all this going on. They still have the county plate on it, but good old 681. Now this side is not as bad with the mold as you can see. The other side is pretty atrocious. Here's 706, but I'm not going to go over 706 in this video quite yet. I'll do a separate video on all the retirees, but we have quite a few of them back here. Yeah, I mean, along the roof bows there's some spots of mold, I guess, from where the water has run down the side of the bus from the roof bows. But on this side it's pretty much clean. I mean, I guess it could be cleaner, but it's not as near as bad as the passenger side. And I got to be sure not to fall here. Kind of using the right hand, which I'd normally use to stabilize myself. But 3800 BT466E, there I am. I gotta adjust these cross views if I get it. I don't want to do any sort of preemptive work to it because I don't know if they've gotten the pictures of it yet. I assume they did long time ago, but I don't know. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and open the hood so we can take a look at the DT466E. Now, looking at this, just kind of doing a general DOT pre-trip kind of inspection. I don't see anything wrong here right off the bat. I did just get my CDL today, so that's neat that this kind of all lined up on that day. So I got my CDL just in time to bring this thing home if that's what God wants for me. But I'm gonna go ahead and do the disengaging thing there. Spin the fan, see if... Oh, goodness. Okay, it does not spin freely, so that's going to be a problem. I mean, okay, yeah, there we go. Kind of. That might be a problem, but, I mean, the alternator looks fine. The wires around the alternator look okay. The brakes, I mean, they're dirty, but they look fine. The shocks don't look like they're leaking or damaged or anything like that. So, go around to the front, and I don't see anything leaking up here with the coolant or the windshield washer fluid. But coming over here, steering shaft looks fine, to me at least. I mean, it's a little dirty there, but nothing looks like it's leaking really badly, at least to me. I'm not very mechanically knowledgeable, but this is kind of my learning bus. So, I mean, everything looks pretty okay under here, at least to me. So yeah, that's the engine compartment. I'm going to close the hood if I don't fall. It's very slick. And you see the snaps for the winter front here. The winter front is inside of it, which is one thing I'm happy about. I was afraid they would have thrown it away by now because we don't use those anymore. Let's see. Check out the hood on this side. Right. I do want to show kind of more in detail this mold here. It's pretty bad. I opened that luggage bay to see if it would open. Looks like it didn't shut all the way either because the weather stripping is coming off. Like it all just pretty much fell out. Somebody left their Sunkist bottle here and some other stuff. Looks like wipes or something. But what is that? Oh. It looks like somebody just left their lunch on the ground back here. That's very nice. They just left the wipes and stuff in the wheel there. They cut the grass back here. Maybe that's why it looks so bad on this side, but they cut the grass and the lawnmower was spitting the grass out right onto the bus here. We'll see that when we get inside. Yeah, I got to make sure not to fall. But, oh, I zoomed in the whole time. Oops. But yeah, right here you can see, oh, there's also some ice right here. That's nice. Bottom step, pretty solid. The bus is still in really good shape structurally, from what I can tell. There are some soft spots that have developed from where it's sat, but mostly it's okay. But you can see all the grass and stuff here. The door was open. I don't know how open it was whenever they mowed in through here, but you can see all the grass right here, and it got into this heater right here. So I'm going to have to take that apart and get that grass out of there before I use it, because I don't want anything catching fire, because dry grass is very flammable. But before we get up to the driver's area, I do want to glance at the passenger area, because this is where most of my work is going to need to be done. These seats are pretty moldy in the front. Like, there's my old seat. It doesn't really come across on the camera very well, but yeah, there's quite a bit of mold there. I'll come back through here slowly to kind of test the floor. There are some soft spots that have developed, but nothing too bad. I've definitely felt much worse. It's still pretty solid, but there's bird crap all over the seats. There's mold all over the seats, but it progressively gets better as you get to the back of the bus. Well, I guess it kind of goes back to middle and then front to middle. The middle is probably the cleanest section, although the back isn't too bad. The front is atrocious, just from where it sat. They took my body fluid cleanup kit and my first aid kit, unless it's down here, which I don't think it is, but yeah, it looks like they took it. I just noticed that. Oh well. They left the camera system in, though. It's an outdated camera system, so yeah. Take a look at. I'm not going to sit in that driver's seat yet, not today, because I want to get it clean first. I'm not going to do that unless I win the thing, because whoever gets it as is. I'm not going to clean it up for somebody else, myself included. So 152, 364.0 miles on it, which is not very much more than the last time I saw it. I think just a couple hundred more miles that were put on it. I think it was like 152.024, something like that, on May 29th of 2018. Over here, just over 9,700 something engine hours. I can't really see it from where I was. Allison MD3060 push button. 672 has the lever shifter. There's the parking brake, cruise control. Warning light switches are over here. The door switch is over there, right there. That was West Virginia spec at the time, and was up until pretty recently, just a couple years ago, I believe. Let's see. But yeah, see the mold on there. It's about how it is on just about everything in this bus. But yeah, I guess that will kind of conclude this portion of the video. Don't know what's going to come next. This is as far as I know of the bus's history, because it is present day currently. So I guess the next portion will be either the auction itself online, my reaction to the auction, whether I win it or not, and just kind of final thoughts. Maybe if I end up getting it. I don't know what's going to happen if I end up getting it. If I don't end up getting it, that's something I'm just going to kind of play by ear. So I will do a video eventually of these buses that are sitting back here, the retirees for the last few school years. Last three, I think, 2018, 2019 school year all the way to 2020, 2021 school year. So like 3 years worth of retirees. So yeah, on to the next clip, I guess. Just another clip to add before I get into everything. This bus was a big motivation for me in a lot of things. This bus taught me a lot of things with my life, especially the saving up part. You know, save your money to get what you want, although, well, I didn't get it in this case, but it still taught me a lot about saving money. And even though I didn't end up with it, I'm still glad that I had this experience, because it's been a very big motivator for a lot of reasons. This bus will always hold a special place in my heart. And if I ever see it for sale, no matter what condition it's in, roof raised, seats torn out, half converted, I'd still be interested in buying it. But it's not easy to have to say goodbye to this old hunk of junk. Trying to get that door to close a little better, but it's probably for the best that I didn't get it. I put this all in God's hands, and I asked him to do what was best for me, and that's exactly what he did. Or at least that's what I assume he did. It's a weird feeling. I saved up for 7 years for this bus, and I made a whole YouTube channel around buying this thing. Well, it ended up not happening, but you know, that's okay. These things aren't always meant to be, and I know that there's a better bus for me out there somewhere, maybe even in this lineup of buses that this bus is currently in. But there's just a lot to go, or a lot to learn from this experience. Even though it ended up not happening, I'm very relieved that it's finally over, because like I said, I've been waiting 7 years for this thing to sell. I feel like I've been very patient and very impatient at the same time. But I knew that there would be that feeling of relief once this was all over, whether I got it or not, just because I don't have to hold myself back anymore. I get to spend the money on that bus that I might want. I get to, you know, spend money on other things that I might want to do. I get to spend money really on just about anything I want, but I don't have to save up for this thing anymore. Instead, I'll probably be saving my money for more adult stuff, like, you know, rent, bills, maybe a car to not replace the Ranger, but something that I can daily drive and, you know, preserve the Ranger a little better, because I would like to keep that thing in good shape. But I hate to see this one go, and it sucks, but everything happens for a reason. I can't do anything about it anymore, so there's no reason that I should worry about it. Let's see, look, there's this compartment here. Just a neat little tidbit. There's a Sharpie and a pencil in there. But I wonder what's in here. Now that nothing. Nice. But I just feel I don't know if you guys understand this very well, especially you guys who don't have a bus that you're trying to save up for. But once it's all over, whether you get it or not, there's this giant feeling of relief. Just, I don't have to worry about that anymore. I can move on, and that's what I'm feeling right now. This seat, I'm always going to consider my seat, even if it doesn't stay in here for very much longer. And this seat, I'm always going to consider the seat of my bus driver, and that's what I was planning on doing if I got this thing. But like I said, everything happens for a reason. It just wasn't meant to be. So yeah. Thanks for watching. So as you can see, I did not get bus 681. You might be wondering what bus I'm inside right now. It's not 681. Look at this yellow emergency door and high headroom. That'll be a clue that this is not 681. I teased this bus the day that I won the auction, but some of you got it, some of you didn't, which that was kind of the plan. But anyways, 681, it went way out of my budget. I bid about every penny that I had, you know, not including the taxes and fees that I'd have to pay. That was an additional 16.5%, and I was borrowing a lot of that money. and I still got outbid. So I asked God to do what was best for me. I think I may have gone over this in some of the other clips, which I filmed, 2-3 months ago. So I don't really remember exactly what I said, but this will be kind of going over that again. But I asked God to do what was best for me, and I believe He did exactly that. 681 was not a very reliable bus, so it probably would not end up being a very reliable bus for me either. So there's that. But also, I feel like with it being 681, I would be very particular about what happens with it, restoration wise, stuff like that. Like, I was prepared to pay $140 a month for insurance just so I could keep the seats in it instead of $92 that I'm paying for this one. So that's like, $50 that I'm saving per month just having this bus instead. But also, I believe that this bus, which you will see at the end of the video and see in the next video with the announcement of what this thing really is, I believe it ended up being much better for me because it is a much more unique bus. But with that being said, Project 681 is not over. I'm not changing the channel name because although it started off as, the project to get 681 and restore it and all this stuff, throughout the entirety of the channel, I did not have 681 in my possession. This channel has always been about me going to places, getting videos of other buses, documenting other bus fleets, and kind of showing those off, talking about those. So in reality, Project 681 was never about 681. It was the documentation of, especially West Virginia and Ohio school buses, kind of in honor of 681. So, as for 681, I know what happened to it. I'm not necessarily the happiest about its fate, but it could have worse fates. It ended up going to Florida. It's being converted into an RV, including a roof raise, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but I'll get into that in another video, not about 681 specifically, just schoolies in general. I'm not really upset about, well, I mean, I am upset, but especially now that I've got this bus, I'm not as upset about it. So, this bus has some issues I need to address, and we'll get that taken care of in some of these later videos. But, yeah, so 681's living a second life as an RV conversion in Florida for people who paid a lot more money for it than it was worth. So, I hope it treats them well. I hope it treats them better than it treated us. 681 deserves a good retirement, and I believe that it is getting a good retirement. It's still getting use. It's not just going to be sitting, being somebody's dry storage. It's not going to be scrapped. It's not going to South America and becoming something that it really isn't, even though I guess you could say being a schoolie isn't what it's supposed to be. But it's better than going outside of the country, because if I ever decide to contact these people who got it, which I have the ability to, I just haven't done it yet, I might, if they ever want to sell it down the road, I might buy it as an RV. I doubt I will, but we might. Or I might. We'll see. But, yeah, other than that, I guess I should go ahead and show you what I got. As I show you around this bus, I kind of want to go ahead and talk about something. If you find out who got 681, don't send any hate to them, please. I am not upset about what happened. Everything happens for a reason. I believe I got the better bus. I am not mad. I am still, a little disappointed because I saved up for 681 for so long. But please, please do not send any hate to them. Don't go track them down and try and find out who it is. Give them their privacy. I've left out their name for a reason, or their bidding name and everything like that. So, yeah, just please do not go and harass them or, say mean things to them, because I have no ill feelings towards them. So, yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and show you the bus. Clutch in.